Hello and welcome. My name is Linda Barnum, and today's session is a yoga session. Before we begin, I'm going to read a short disclaimer. To reduce and avoid injury, you should check with your doctor before beginning any fitness program. By performing any fitness exercise, you are performing them at your own risk. The town of Aurora will not be responsible or liable for any injury or harm you sustain as a result of participating in our online fitness or information shared on our website or social media channels. That includes emails, videos, and texts. Thank you for taking the time to listen. We'll begin our yoga session. Please have a few props ready. You can pause the video anytime if you'd like to go and collect these. These are very simple things you may have around your home. Right now, I'm sitting on a couple of folded blankets, which makes it much more comfortable for me to sit on the floor. If you prefer, you may wish to grab a chair and sit in a chair. Also have a yoga strap. And if you don't have a yoga strap, a bathrobe tie will be just as useful. And 2 foam blocks. If you don't have foam blocks, 2 small towels that you can easily fold to allow for a little more padding so that you're comfortable in the various positions that we'll come into today. Yoga is a wonderful way to improve your flexibility, strength, balance, and coordination, and to have a few tools for managing stress and anxiety. Today, we're going to begin with a breath awareness, tuning into the breath and coming into the body. You may start here, seated on the floor, seated in a chair, or laying down on the floor. Either way, make sure that you're comfortable and warm enough. After we finish with the breath awareness, we'll move into a few gentle warm-ups, laying back. We'll come up into seated, standing, and then work our way back down to the ground and complete the practice with a final relaxation. Please make yourself comfortable now to begin. When you're ready, start to take your attention to your breath. And your breath simply as movement in your body, your natural, easy breath. Breath in, breath out. You might feel this gentle movement of your breath in the chest or the belly. The chest and the belly gently rising and falling with the in-breath, the out-breath. Relax into the rhythm of your breath, and at the same time, invite your body to relax back and down into the support of the ground. Softening back and down through the back of your head, relaxing your facial muscles. Shoulders back and down away from the ears, and if you're laying back and down towards the ground. Rest your back body into the space underneath you, softening through the upper back of the waist, and the lower back. Feeling the gentle movement of your breath, shifting the back body. The breath like an internal massage. Soften through your front body, chest, belly, and bringing your attention down a little deeper in your body so that you really begin to move inward, away from the busyness of your mind. Following the breath in, the breath out. and the gentle movement of your breath lower down in your body, belly, sides, back. Move your attention down into your pelvis, thighs, legs, and feet. Inviting your whole body to soften back and down into the support of the ground. Beginning the process of releasing tension and holding in the body. Take as much time as you like here, settling in. And when you feel ready, we're going to begin with some gentle movements to release the legs and the back. Laying down on your mat. And we wish to put a small padding underneath your head. Don't make it too thick so that you don't overstretch the back of your neck. It's nicely, comfortably supporting your head. Going to have your strap close by. We'll need that eventually. Bring the arms out to your side. We'll start with a simple twist. We're just gently swaying the legs from side to side, which is a very simple movement, but therefore the simple twist, but very effective. So you'll feel your back of your pelvis, your low back gently turning over the mat. Make sure you have enough padding underneath you for that to feel comfortable. And this is a lovely rotation for the spine. So a gentle release and lengthening for the spine. Now at the same time as you let your legs sway from side to side, you can let your head just gently go side to side in the opposite direction. So we bring that rotation all the way up to the top of the spine. Now we're adding a little bit more hip movement here. So the next time that we come over, we're going to bring this top leg up first, letting that leg move over, and then the other leg will just simply follow when it needs to. So in between, you have a little more openness through the inner thighs, and then the bottom leg is following over. So we start to bring a little more movement into the hips. You can keep your head center or continue to let your head gently roll from side to side. One more here. And we'll bring the legs back up and center and draw the one leg in towards the chest in knee to chest pose. This is a lovely way to use the weight of the legs to lengthen and release your low back. Natural, easy breathing, shoulders, neck and shoulders nicely relaxed. Now this bottom leg, if you like, knee bent, foot on the floor, that's a little more supportive for your low back. If you really want some length over the bottom leg, front side, you can drop that leg down and lengthen the legs away from each other in your knee to chest pose a little more actively. Now let's circle this bent knee leg here. Nice big circles, and just holding gently around my knee. If there's any pressure on your knee, you can hold around your shin or the back of your thigh. Nice big circles from the hip joint. Again, this bottom leg straight, or you can have that knee bent. Change direction of your circles. And bring that leg in. Let's try knee to chest pose on the other side. Pause in here. Notice that on your exhalation, there's a little more space as the belly drops back, and draw this leg in a little closer. Just getting a bit more release down through this low back. It's a very lovely movement to ease out any tension in the low back. Bottom leg knee bent, or let that leg lengthen along the floor. And then let's bring in those circles from the hip joint. One direction and the other. And bringing that in again. Going to bring both feet back down to the ground. Grab your strap. A little more active here with stretching the legs. Going to take the one leg back into knee to chest pose, and then bring the strap around the foot and lengthen the leg up into the strap. Now again, I'm going to start with this knee bent foot on the ground, just to give a little more support for my low back. Your strap, you just want to hold on gently. Think about the strap as being a way to just keep the leg there a little bit longer. Try to avoid pulling. That's just going to create tension. You're lengthening up into the strap at the same time as letting your pelvis drop back and down. Now, if you like, lengthen this bottom leg out. See how it feels for you. When we're working with the yoga, we want to gently ease into movements and always move in a pain-free range of motion. Because the movements are so slow, it's a really nice way to just have a feel what's working best for you today. Now we're going to take the strap into the same hand as the leg that's lifted. So this other arm can just rest back. You can open across the chest and make some circles as if you're drawing a circle on the ceiling with your foot. Start these circles small, and then you can take them bigger if you like. And then let's bring them back small again. Lengthen a little more up, sole of the foot up towards the ceiling. Bring that leg in, and let's change sides. So we'll slip the strap around the other foot. Start off with that knee bent foot on the ground, lengthening up into the strap, just checking that your shoulders are still relaxed, the pelvis is dropping back. Breathe here. Lengthen this bottom leg out if you like. Really letting the legs stretch away from each other in a bigger way now. Arm out to the side, taking the strap in the same hand as the leg that's lifted, and start those small circles, sole of the foot as if you're drawing a circle on the ceiling. Let's change direction. Circle getting a bit bigger here. And then we can just follow our tracks back, smaller circles, and come back center. A couple more breaths. Let's really lengthen that leg up. And bring the leg in. And let's just take the legs along the floor, shake them out a little, releasing any tension from the legs. And we'll return to the simple twist, taking the legs over to the one side and the other. And perhaps just notice, even in those few minutes, the few movements, if there's any difference here in the range of motion,
how smooth the movement feels. And sometimes it's quite surprising. And then let's take that all the way over to the one side. You can roll it all the way over and push up here slowly to come up and into sit-in. Now, in the sit-in, as I mentioned before, it's nice to sit up on a couple of folded blankets. It's going to help your hips to drop, your spine to lift. We're going to come into some cat stretch. We're taking the hands just in front around the shins. Now, let me just point out another little prop that we could use. If your knees are up here, it's a little stiff for you, you can put those foam blocks just underneath the thighs, or maybe a couple of rolled towels just to make you more comfortable. Cat stretch, we're going to be moving back. So as if you're bringing your spine into a shallow letter C, flexing the spine, and then lifting through and forward, extending, like you're lifting the heart up towards the ceiling. We get these lovely movements into the spine, releasing any stiffness, tightness. Flexing and extending. Now, an easy guide for us to remember to fit in some movement every day is that the spine moves in 4 directions: flexion, extension. Then let's add in a little lateral movement or side stretch. Bringing the one hand over, we'll side stretch over. Let this opposite hip drop back and down. A nice length through your side body, and then coming over to the other side. We can get that third movement of the spine, helping to keep the spine supple, flexible. Then the one other movement that we want to include every day in our movements for the spine is a rotation. So let's come up nice and tall. First of all, we can clasp the hands together here and lift nice and tall, lengthening up at the same time as you're sitting down into the pelvis. Lower the arms, keep that length, and rotate from the waist, turning towards the one side. Shoulders relax down. Coming nice and tall in the center again, and turning towards the other side in the rotation. Looking a little further if you can, shoulders relaxed. And then let's bring it back. Release the hands down. This is an option for cat stretch. If you're okay on your hands and knees, we can come into a cat stretch on all 4s, which gives us a little more movement. You can come around on all 4s, or if you choose to, stay in that seated cat on all 4s. That's where you might want another little bit of padding underneath the knees. Hands underneath the shoulders. Let me just move a few things out of the way here. We're going to get that same movement, scooping up and back, rounding the spine, reaching out with the tailbone, the crown of the head across the room, and extending the spine. A little more cat stretch, just trying that a way that makes sense for you on all 4s or remaining in the seated position. One more. We're going to bring it up into standing. I want you to move as mindfully and as comfortably as you can from the floor into the standing. This is a suggestion. If there's another way for you to get up much easier than this, or it works better for you, then try that. You can bring one foot forward from a cat stretch and simply step up. Knees are bent over the front thighs. You get a little forward bend. Then with the knees still bent, roll up slowly and come into standing. It's going to adjust the screen as I come into standing. There we go. Sorry. Now in your standing, let's just roll the shoulders. Taking the shoulders back, it's a nice opposite to the movements that we might do a lot around, over a computer screen or over a steering wheel as we're driving. So rolling the shoulders back. One more. Relax the shoulders down. Now let's bring the legs a little wider. So shoulder width to a leg length apart, but not so wide that you feel wobbly or unstable. Going to bring the backs of the hands together now in front so that there's a bit of a stretch over your wrist as the backs of the hands come together. Bring them up to the center and then expand your arms out to the side. Shoulders relaxed, elbows a little soft, and extend out. Breathe here in star pose. Turning the one foot out, the back foot in a little. We'll just change up what we're doing with the legs and the hips here. Bend into this front knee, and we're coming into warrior two, a strong standing posture. Breathe. Let's push out here, as if you're pushing out from the center of your body and extending out towards the room. You can make the room a little bigger. Drop the wrists down. Push again from the center of your body. Drop the wrists. One more time if you can. And we'll circle the wrists. Let's bring this front hand down and extend this other arm up to really lengthen again through the side body. And this time we'll take that over towards this bent knee. Your hand can come down on the front thigh, or a little further, you would have your elbow on that front thigh. Nice length. If this isn't working for your shoulder, simply take the arm down by your side. Breathe. And let's bring that back on up. Now we're going to slide this back hand down the back leg and bring this front arm up. Look on up at this hand and side stretch back. So we're going to get more space now through this other side, an exalted warrior. And bring that back center. Let's turn the feet forward. Come back into our star pose, just extending out. Nice long wingspan with relaxed shoulders, elbows a little soft. Turning into the other foot, we'll swivel around from the heel. Adjust this back foot so it comes in a little. Warrior two as we bend into this knee. Now this knee wants to be nicely over those middle three toes. You need to adjust the stance so the feet are a little closer together. We want to feel grounded so we can feel relaxed. Want to push out and relax the wrists. The push out, so you're coming from that center strength, the strength from the center of your body. Circles for the wrists. Out again in your warrior two. Let's drop this front hand down onto the bent knee. Lengthen up nice and long through the sides and side angle pose. Coming over towards the bent knee. Just here, if you can go a little further, then you can come down on the forearm, resting on this front thigh. Keep this side open. Bring it up. As we come up, we'll slide the hand down the back thigh, bring up the front arm, looking up at that arm. So we're coming into exalted warrior. These are strong postures to help with strength, flexibility, and exalted warrior. And we're feeling very good and very strong here. And bring it up. Let's turn the feet center again and give the shoulders another little roll. I'm going to heel toe the feet in, just slightly. So a little more than hip width apart. This time, when we turn the foot out, we're going to slide that foot in and bring the heel up onto the opposite leg. Now make sure this standing leg is a little soft at the back of the knee. This is a balancing pose, tree pose. This may feel like enough for you to come up simply on the toes. Keep the hips level, lengthen up, palms together if you like, or reach them up and come a little taller. Same time as you're rooting down, lengthening up. Let's release that down. Try the other side. Turning this foot out, so externally rotating through the hip, sliding the foot in, coming up nice and tall. So we don't want the hips to come out to the side there, just square them off, lengthen up, hands in front if you can, or of course you could have a hand on a wall or a chair if that's helpful to you. And then we're going to lengthen up a little more. Breathe, rooting down, lengthening up. Release down. Going to repeat the tree pose on either side with a little more challenge if that works for you. Stay either in this first variation where we're sliding the foot in, we still have the ball of the foot on the ground. Or if you like, lift the leg a little higher. Now, when you lift the leg, it wants to be on this very bulky part of your lower leg, the calf muscle, not on the knee. Okay, or you may be able to lift the leg above the knee onto the thigh. Now you can see it gets a little more challenging with the balance. So let's give that a try. Coming in, lengthening up. Breathe in. Let's bring it down. So when it gets challenging with the balance, that's okay. I think that this is why we do the balancing postures, because we want to challenge the balance a little bit. This might be already challenging enough, or I want to take it a little further. And bring the leg up onto the calf, the foot up onto the calf muscle. You decide where there's that good amount of challenge for your balance. And then let's bring it down as gracefully as possible. Give the legs a little shake out. Now, what we've done around the legs is a lot of movement out with the hips. So let's balance that out with a little inward movement. And again, you might want to have one hand on a chair or a wall. We're going to bring the legs inward. So this is, again, a slight challenge for the balance, in that the feet are only having this tiny bit of coverage of the ground. So again, wall or chair for one hand. Then we're going to come up on the same side. This leg that's forward, this arm is going to come up and side stretch over here into crescent moon. Let's bring that down and try the other side. Crossing the leg the other way. Coming up and over, same arm as the leg that's forward. So we get this nice long space down through the side of the body. Crescent moon shape. And breathe. Notice where your breath tends to go when you're changing the shape of your body. All of these movements helping us to expand our breath. Just a natural, easy breath, but the breath being encouraged to move a little more. Expand out into that side rib space, down through the side body. This is all wonderful benefits of our yoga practice. Let's step that out. I'm going to now come back down to the ground. I'm going to suggest a way to get down. If it doesn't work for you, just please come down safely to the ground in any way that's the best way for you to get down. Eventually, we want to end up coming into the seated position again. The way that I'm going to suggest is that we come out so that we have the mat in front, the sticky mat, and we're going to have our feet about hip width apart. Nice and tall here, and then softening the knees a little, like you're going to sit back. So you'll be sitting on a chair. Drop your chin towards your chest, so it's a bit of a stretch through the back of the neck. And slowly roll your shoulders forward. Let the weight of your head go. Now forward bending where it feels right for you, with the knees bent and coming over the front thighs. And just letting yourself cascade forward. So don't think that there's anywhere in particular you need to get to. Just let your body go. Hang out here. Nice release for your spine. And then if you can, bend your knees enough. Just walk your hands out to lower yourself back down to the ground. Like I said, if that doesn't work, just come down in a safe and responsible way for you. A little cat stretch when we get here, if you like. And then let's bring that back into the seated, where we started fairly early on in the session, with these directions of movement for a spine. Now I'm going to grab my rolled folded blanket so I can sit up on those again, sit comfortably. And as I mentioned before, you could also sit on a chair. I'll move the screen so that you can see me a little better in the seated. There we are. And what we'll do is we'll come back to those 4 movements of your spine and we'll just check in. So it's a nice way at the end of your session to do something that you did early on and just have a feel. Is there any shift or change in your range of motion, how free the movement feels, the flow of the movement, just a way for you to notice what were the benefits of your practice today. Hands on the legs. Flexing, extending. Perhaps the movement a little smoother.
Let's try that side stretch. So coming into the lateral movement of your spine. Just again, noticing how does that feel now? And over to the other side. And coming up nice and tall so we can, the spine nicely lengthened before we go into the rotation, turning towards the one knee. Shoulders relaxed. Bringing it back center and turning towards the other side. Center and release the arms down. Let's help the legs in. Take yourself back down to the ground. Okay. You might want to have a small fold underneath the back of your head. Make yourself comfortable here. Knees bent, arms out to the side. Let's return to a little simple twist. Another movement we came into very early on in the session. Again, just a way to check in. Does that feel any smoother? Is there any more freedom in your body, in your movement? And then back center. We're going to take the last few minutes to rest back. Nice way to just let the body and the mind digest all of that movement. So please make yourself comfortable. You can lay back, knees bent, or legs out straight. Cover yourself up with a blanket to make sure that you're warm. Or if you prefer, come into a seated position. Close your eyes or lower your gaze. Turn your attention to the more singular focus of your breath. Dropping your awareness down to the belly and perhaps noticing the belly gently rise and fall. The easy rhythm of your breath. Breath in, breath out. Relax into the rhythm of your breath. And continue the process of allowing your body to drop into the support of the ground. Once again, softening down through the back of your head. Shoulders relaxing down. Inviting your back body to rest back and down into the mat, into the surface of the ground. And feeling your front body gently moving with the breath. Softening down through the pelvis, thighs, lower legs and feet. Continue for a few moments. Breath in, breath out. A singular focus on the gentle movement of your breath in your body. Take as much time as you like, resting back. And when you feel ready to come on up, bend your knees, feet on the floor, and roll gently over to the one side. Take a few breaths there, allowing time to adjust from the laying back to come into the upright. Then slowly push yourself up to a seated position. And again, take a few breaths in a seated position before you move mindfully into your next activity. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you feel both energized and relaxed.